Welcome everybody to the Futurespace Collective, where we explore the world of products for imagination. I've decided to start a new series, that's right, a new series focused around my favorite tools, specialty tools and gadgets that I use for content creation and video production to make these great videos here on the channel. So today I bring you one of my favorite tools that I use in my repertoire of magical gadgetry for video production. Let's check it out. Boom! And here it is now. It is the Rhino Arc II, which is this thing right here, paired with a Rhino Evo slider. Now, from first seeing it, can you guess what it does? You take your camera, your video camera, your phone camera, whatever, and you mount it onto the head here like so. We now have a full motion control system. So this portion right here, it is the Arc II, it is the motion control head. Now it is a standalone item. You don't need to use it with the slider. It's a motorized tripod head that allows for 2 axes of movement. So basically, this allows us to now pan and tilt our camera with precision, with accuracy. It really allows to get a perfect shot. And that's why I really love using this thing, because I don't need to spend, 5 or 6 takes trying to get the perfect pan or tilt. I can just use this Arc II system and it will allow me to do that. It's a pretty robust system. It can support up to 15 pounds. That's right, a 15-pound camera rig. You can sit this and mount this to this Arc II system. Of course, as you would imagine, it comes with a bunch of extra features, such as app control. It has this awesome face tracking mode that you can use in correlation with your phone, or it will actually, follow your face around the room if you want to kind of use as a second shooter on its own. It has this really handy mounting mode to be able to mount it or remove it easily to different tripod heads. And you can also power your camera from the built-in battery in the Arc system itself. Of course, if you have the proper cable and dummy battery, you just plug it into the Arc system right on the side here, and you have a fully powered, fully ready to go pan and tilt motion control system. Now, in addition to the Rhino Arc II, that's just this head here, you can get the slider, which is what I have and what the Arc II system is mounted to currently. So the slider is really cool because the system works together seamlessly and it adds a 3rd axis of movement. So now you can pan, tilt, and slide all at the same time. They sell the slider in a carbon fiber version, which I have here, but they also sell it in a longer steel version. So lastly, we can add a 4th axis of movement with the Rhino focus system. So this mounts right into the Arc II pan and tilt head, and it allows us to now control our lens movement by either, mounting it to the focus ring or the focal zoom ring of your lens. So now you can pan, tilt, slide, zoom, or change focus. And that really opens up all the different axes of movement and is all fully automatable with the phone or just with the joystick here itself. You can buy these items separately or as a kit. A lot of people might find a lot of value in just the Arc II pan and tilt head itself and everything it can do, whereas others may want to get the full kit to open up their shot movement to do more complex shots. So now that we kind of know what this thing is and what it does, I'll give you guys a demo and how I use it. So the real beauty in this system is really being able to program the moves to get these perfect cinematic shots. Okay, so typically when I'm working with this slider, I usually, to start, I grab 2 light stands, 2 small light stands, and I actually attach them to the bottom here. I quickly screw them in, and this is for extra support because the tripod, this particular tripod that I have, I like it because I have a quick release so I can quickly take the slider on and off, but it's not the most heavy duty tripod. So just to make sure we don't get any tilting action, I will actually use light stands just to add in some extra support. So I've got my light stand set up now, and I've got sandbags on the bottom. So now I'm gonna bring our table up, our shooting table, and I'm actually gonna add this mat in. It just adds a nice surface to shoot on for this particular shot. Okay, we're gonna go ahead now and power on. You just do that by long pressing the button on the top of the arc head. Before you do anything, it's gonna ask you to calibrate in any mode. And that just basically tells the system where the end of the slider is. So now that it's calibrated, we are in fluid view. So fluid view basically means you can use it freely and you can just move the joysticks. A really cool feature is that you can just move it, and when you take your thumb off, it'll slowly slow it down. It won't just abruptly stop. So really great feature if you do want to just pan or tilt without programming moves in there. Okay, so I'm actually going to lower everything, the whole system down a little bit to get a better framing. Okay, so I've lowered the tripod. Now I'm going to tighten up the supporting stands once again, and this is going to give a much better shot. Okay, so we are in set keyframe mode. So basically we're going to move our camera to the starting position. Just use the joysticks, okay. So we'll roll it down to one end here. Once we have our first keyframe, all you do is press down, boom, and we're gonna set, that's now set. So now it says to set keyframe number 2. So we're gonna move this to the second position we want. So I'm gonna bring it to the other end of the slider here. So once we have it set, we're just gonna click down, boom, set keyframe number 2. Now it's gonna ask us how long do you want the duration of the move to be. So I like to set mine about around 15 seconds. And then we have the option if we wanna loop it or not. I usually keep it off, but you can turn it on. Basically, what that'll do is that once it finishes the slide, it'll just keep repeating the same slide. So why don't we actually go ahead and turn that on, and then we're gonna hit start move. So once we hit start move, it's actually gonna bring it into our first keyframe position, and then it's gonna display on screen, ready to go. So basically, we're gonna triple check all of our settings here. I'm gonna actually just set the spot focus with the camera. Of course, you can use the focus and integrate that into your keyframes. I don't personally use the focus too much because my cameras are pretty good with autofocus. If you do have a camera or you want to use manual focus with a manual focus lens, cinema lens, works great, we can do that. But once we're ready to go, you just hit start and now it's going to conduct the move. Here it goes. And of course, because we do have the loop mode enabled, it will just keep doing the move back and forth until you stop it. It's totally smooth, totally silent, totally cinematic. As you can see, it's not too fast to set up. You just throw it on, turn it on, program your moves, and you're good to go. You can of course program more keyframes or do this all from within the app. But personally, I think it's faster to just use the controller, keyframe 1, keyframe 2, start, go, done, bada bing, bada boom, and we have some perfect B-roll. By being able to program the move, and it'll be exactly the same every time, we can actually stack our shots and we can cut to different shots all within the same move if we sync it up in the timeline, and it'll look like it's all one continuous move, as you're seeing now, as I've done with a previous shot with our table here. You can see how I've actually done 3 different shots, but it all looks like one seamless shot, one seamless movement with the slider. And this is of course capable because this will repeat the exact same move every time. It's very precise. So if you're really good and creative with editing, you can actually use this tool in new creative ways to create certain effects and certain shots that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. So you can mount it to a tripod. It does come with legs to use on its own. I've taken it on camping trips. It is robust. It is an awesome little system. The fact that it's so compact. The Arc II system can work to assist in time-lapse work as well, if you're into that sort of thing. So you can program all these different types of shots into time-lapse, over a long period of time. So you can have the move, be conducted over, 12 hours if you wanted. It will slowly move it over that time for time lapses. So I've now shown you how I've used it in my Futurespace Collective videos. So next time you see a shot like that, you'll be able to spot it out and know how it was done. Or maybe if you watch some of the previous videos, you'll see a lot of shots that I've used that were made with this same system. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, the price links are in the description below. If you have any questions or comments about the system or about video production, I will do my best to answer your questions in the comments section. Let me know if you like this video, if you want to see more about the tools that I use to create these videos, if you have more interest in that. If you're curious about the shirt I'm wearing, it's made by a company called Into the AM. They make these awesome space-themed graphic tees and apparel. Links and discount codes are in the description below if you're interested in checking them out. But anyhow, I think that just about wraps us up. This is the Futurespace Collective, where we explore the world of products for imagination. My name's Julian Melly. Have a good night. Or good day, good morning, good evening, whatever. See you in the next one.